Name's Ethan. I'm a fourth year chippy, about to be qualified actually. My family got mum, dad, Leroy and Lisa, and then two older sisters, Bree and Paige. Paige is the middle child and Bree's the eldest. And one lives in WA, one lives in St Kilda, and I obviously live with mum and dad still because I'm still young. And the incident of me getting stabbed happened at Pakenham KFC.
So it started out is we just received a phone call from Ethan's then girlfriend saying, I didn't answer it, but Leroy did. And when he answered it, all he could hear was Ethan's been stabbed, Ethan's been stabbed.
One of my best mates had to go back to work for the year because it's Christmas holidays. So us just went to KFC. And then from there on, ended up having an incident with a heap of young people and pretty much just tried to resolve it for once. I just remember one of his friends was having a laugh with us. As I went to walk off, I've walked out, just like how your arms move when you walk, and he's come up behind me. When I wasn't looking, I was looking at his friend. His friend was distracting me. Come up behind me, and then that's when he stabbed me. You don't go out thinking you're about to get stabbed. It just felt like a boiling hot potato peeler on your knuckle. All I can remember is just being in KFC, being on the ground, not being able to breathe. Felt like I was just filling up with water, even though it was blood. I couldn't speak, talk, just because I had so much blood coming out of my mouth. And after that, I remember just being in the ambulance, texting all my friends, all my family that I love them and all that. And then I honestly thought I was dying because it felt like I was, which I was.
I just went into mum mode, basically. Okay, so whereabouts has he been stabbed? Is anyone, called the police, ambulance, all that? And when she said that he's been stabbed in the chest, I said, is it heart side? And she said, yes. So we jumped in the car and I had Steph on speaker. She was telling me what was going on with Ethan, but in the background we could hear Ethan screaming out. You never have to picture that call, that something's happened to your child.
Felt like I was falling asleep, but I knew I wasn't. I knew I was dying. The only thing I can remember from hospital that night is I woke up for a split 5 seconds and was just seeing lights as I was getting wheeled down, and then just the 4 surgeons and a few nurses. Yeah,
we arrived at the hospital, weren't allowed in because of COVID, so they actually just told me to go home. But being, 2 hours away from the hospital, we didn't. It was about an hour and a half later, and the surgeon said that he has bleeding around the heart. They didn't know what damage it was at, so they had to actually crack his chest. And that was not, to hear that, because you got the big scar for the rest of his life. We stayed, and it was about 90 minutes operation. They rang, and the surgeon said that he's came through. He actually went through his lung and his aorta. And he says that we actually go off in mils, and he was 1 mil off from dying and bleeding out.
I honestly did not know. That was the first thing I asked. I did not know if I was alive or not. I was like, am I dead? I was in tubes hanging out of my neck and my chest and my gut and my throat. Had a massive cut down here. I had no idea. When they go for open heart surgery, they cut basically with a grinder, cut me straight in half through my chest down to just under, a little bit below my sternum. Then they pretty much get each chest plate and rib and all that, and slowly open it up like that. And then they can look at everything inside you. And then straight away, one surgeon was working on my heart, getting that okay, because that was pretty much failing because of the pinch in the aorta. And then the other ones, there's 2 of them, I think they said, that were working on my lung and other things around it, because that had a big hole in it and that just collapsed and I had nothing. And then at the same time, another one like getting me breathing and still kept me alive through the tubes. And then another one putting more tubes in me. That just so it was like circulating the blood out of me and not just let me fill up pretty much slowly.
I didn't want to think about him not making it. When the surgeon said that they had to, operate, we actually sat in silence. We didn't say anything to each other, which is Leroy and myself, at all, because we were trying to figure out, and we didn't want to think, are we going to have a son, when this is finished, or are we going, to take him home? What the impact we have, well, it's still there daily. Like, I try not to look at it, only because it's a reminder of everything. So you try and move on, but you can't. And then you hear of all the knife crime, so it brings it back up.
Really hard, terrible, to be honest. Really long process of just rough, and I'm sort of still not even getting back on my feet, to be honest with you. Just like sort of starting to come okay. It's been, 2 years nearly. You
think, well, how does this actually change his life ever? Because he's got this scar, so it's a reminder every single day. The cut on my chest is pretty much like belly button to bottom of my throat. And then the stab wound is actually probably 50-cent coin, a bit bigger. So Ethan was a very placid boy. Nothing really fazed him. Went with the flow of everything. Love the outdoors. My family is outdoors. We love fishing, shooting, motorbike riding. He's very angry. Things set him off a short fuse now. Things just random things, like someone walking slow in front of him or driving slow, or he's just very angry. Yep. I grew up as probably the happiest kid you'd ever be around and meet, especially all my friends. Everyone says it, and now I'm just quiet. I don't want to go out, don't want to do anything. I just want to ride my bike. Just terrible mental health, honestly, like the worst. We might still have Ethan here, but we still could bury him because of his mental health. That takes a long time to heal, whether he actually gets over it or not. He's only young, he's still got a long life. I had to learn how to walk again. That was like the worst, like learning how to breathe as well at the same time, because like your lung collapses, it's like the worst feeling. You feel like everything inside is just like tense the whole time. You can't put any pressure on your legs because your chest feels like it's going to fold in half. You don't think it's going to happen to your child, and but when it does, you kind of like, it just changes your whole life. Like we'll never be the same. Like you don't, when he's actually in hospital and we couldn't see him for 7 days, you can't sleep. You don't want to go out, going to work, you just don't want to be there. You're just constantly thinking about him. Like when you go out in public, you're just cautious all the time. I'm looking around 24/7, like just ready for anything pretty much when I go out in public. So I fought on basically an Australian level. I'm a 2-time Australian boxing champion. I would have loved, and I probably would have 100% seen my future going towards being a professional boxer, 100% at some stage, going to the Olympics, doing all that. I was in the spotlight for it, but it's just all in the bin pretty much because I'm not allowed to do it. I'm not doctor's orders, never allowed to do it again, which is pretty rough because I've been doing it for the last 7 or 8 years. Be a leader, not a follower, because one day your mum and dad actually could be burying you, your brother, sister, cousin. It just goes on. Yeah. So do the right thing and change. Yeah, because this is the generation that has to change and has to change it, yeah.
Grow up. Just don't be so dumb. You don't need it. You don't need to do it. Grow up, because the impacts has on everyone, not just me, like friends, my family, like my Tassie mates, the Tassie community. Like, so much things have been impacted in my life just because of one kid being dumb for 10 seconds.
Don't do it, because it wrecks not just your life, it wrecks, the victim, their family, how much it actually, goes along the line.
You're not tough or who you think, like you're a fake gang, like you're a fake gangster, you're not tough, you're not hard, like you're not who you think you are, and it's not cool to be doing what you're doing at all. Like, grow up.
Cut the violence.
Cut the violence.